Hi guys, welcome to part 4 of our 5-part series on interview tips and techniques. In this video we will be having a look at what we believe are crucial questions that come up during the interview, and also how to handle questions and questions you should ask. So, first thing we would say, there can be in an interview lots of questions for you and lots of questions you want to ask. It's quite important if you can take control of that process, so rather than just ask questions one after another or answer questions one after another, try and build in some kind of two-way conversation, and you can do that by returning a question once you've been given a question. So the ebb and the flow isn't just a question, you start to build more of a two-way conversation. Some of the questions, some of the atypical interview questions that come up that you will have heard time and time again, are questions that you should really prepare for. So there would be a strengths and weaknesses question, reason for leaving question, salary question, all of those type of questions. So in terms of preparing for those, what we would say certainly with the strengths and weaknesses is to maybe get yourself 3 strengths and 1 weakness, and those strengths should be something that they would expect you to have, but beyond expectation. So you wouldn't want to say I'm hard-working, I'm motivated, loyal, committed, a good team player. You'd want to give strengths that potentially could give you marginal gains. It could be something like I'm a good business developer, but again it's specific to the job that you're going for. But when you're answering strengths and weaknesses question, it's really quite important to try and give a strength that is really going to set you apart from other candidates. The reason for leaving question is a really important question. It's one of the most important questions that you could have, and that could underline your application. Never be negative about the firm that you're leaving or the job that you're in. Always be really positive about that situation and give a really good reason for leaving. Questions not to ask, I would consider those to be me questions. So questions like, what's the salary? How many days holiday do I get? Do I get a PA? What support is there? You can ask questions about training and things like that, but never ask questions directly about things that you could get benefit from. Those questions should be really asked by a recruiter if you're using one. If you get asked a question about your salary, there's many schools of thought on what you should do. Some people say just give your salary, some people say give your salary expectation. I tend to try and get my candidates to veer away from giving a specific number and say something along the lines of, salary is important, but it's not the motivation for me to be here today. I'm really interested in the job. Because you can sometimes leave in that meeting a salary that actually you come back out the interview and you kind of feel, do you know what, actually I wouldn't accept the job at that salary, and it's difficult to change that. Again, if you're using a recruiter, it's really quite important to get your recruiter to steer you on the salary question. In terms of the overall questions that you should be answering, one of the best ways of winning friends and influencing people is to get them talking about themselves. So do go and ask your interviewer questions you know they'll enjoy, and they can be questions about the firm culture, what's the firm achievements, so that when you're asking those questions you know you're going to get a positive response from the interviewer. Okay, if you have any questions today about today's topic, please contact us. Our next video will be the last video, which covers an interesting topic of NLP and the overall interview.